Welcome to Fog of War, a series dedicated to uncovering the hidden chaos behind history's most famous battles. This channel isn't about glorifying war, it's about understanding it. Most people who watch these stories aren't subscribed, and many bring decades of perspective with them. If this kind of storytelling matters to you, subscribing helps keep it alive. And if these stories resonate, consider sharing them with the next generation. History lasts longest when it's passed on. Now, let's step back into the fog. September 1944. The war in Europe felt almost won. Allied commanders believed speed could end it. One bold plan, one airborne strike, one narrow road into Germany. But even before the first parachutes fell, the warning signs were already there. Reports that didn't fit the plan, intelligence that felt inconvenient, signals that were acknowledged and then set aside. They believed they were racing toward victory. In reality, they were racing into the fog of war. On paper, Operation Market Garden was elegant. Airborne forces would drop deep behind enemy lines, seizing a chain of bridges. Ground forces would race up a single highway to link them together. If it worked, the Allies would bypass Germany's strongest defenses and end the war before winter. Speed was the obsession. Caution felt unnecessary. Intelligence reports complicated that vision. Reconnaissance suggested German armored units were regrouping near Arnhem. Signals hinted at formations that shouldn't have been there, but these details didn't match the plan, and plans have momentum of their own. Commanders trusted what they wanted to see. Resistance was expected to be light. Delays were considered unlikely. The enemy was assumed to be retreating, not reorganizing. The plan moved forward with confidence, but not clarity. Each unit understood its own role, yet no one could see the whole picture. Timetables replaced flexibility. Assumptions replaced verification. Market Garden didn't begin in confusion. It began in certainty. And that certainty would soon become the most dangerous thing on the battlefield. On September 17th, 1944, the sky filled with aircraft. Paratroopers dropped across the Netherlands, landing miles behind German lines. From the air, it looked flawless. Clear weather, clean drops, units assembling on the ground. For a moment, Market Garden appeared to be working. But reality was already whispering. Some units landed farther from their objectives than planned. Radio sets failed almost immediately, leaving commanders unable to communicate with troops only a few miles away. Messages had to be carried by runners through unfamiliar territory, slowing decisions that depended on speed. At Arnhem, the situation was more fragile than anyone realized. British airborne units advanced toward the bridge, expecting scattered resistance. Instead, they encountered organized German troops, calm, coordinated, and far from defeated. These weren't isolated problems, they were warnings. Delays accumulated quietly. Timetables slipped by hours, then by days. Each delay forced new assumptions, and each assumption was made with less information than the last. The fog of war doesn't arrive all at once. It creeps in, unnoticed, while everything still looks under control. By the time commanders realized something was wrong, they were already reacting to events they no longer fully understood. As fighting intensified, reports from the front grew more troubling. Airborne units described unexpected armor. German counterattacks appeared faster and stronger than predicted. At Arnhem, resistance hardened into something unmistakable. This was no retreating enemy. The information moved upward, but it lost weight as it traveled. Some reports were softened, others were dismissed as exaggeration. A few never reached the right desk at all. Commanders still believed the plan could succeed if everyone just moved faster. The solution, they thought, was not reassessment, but acceleration. Ground forces pushed north along the narrow highway, a single lifeline vulnerable to ambush and delay. Every blown bridge, every stalled column magnified the problem. One road meant one failure point, and the enemy understood this perfectly. At higher headquarters, confidence lingered. The plan had worked so far, at least on paper, and as long as maps showed progress, reality could be postponed. But war doesn't wait for belief to catch up. The fog of war was no longer just hiding the enemy, it was filtering truth itself. By the time clarity became unavoidable, options were already gone. At Arnhem, isolated airborne units fought desperately, cut off from reinforcements that never arrived. Radios were silent, supplies ran low, positions shrank by the hour. South of them, ground forces advanced, but too slowly. Delays stacked upon delays. What had been planned as a rapid link-up became a grinding struggle against time, terrain, and uncertainty. Each commander fought a different war, guided by partial information and outdated assumptions. Decisions were made in isolation, with no clear sense of how the larger battle was unfolding. This is the fog of war at its most dangerous. Not confusion in the moment, but decisions locked in before the truth arrives. Market Garden didn't collapse in a single failure. It unraveled through hesitation, disbelief, and a refusal to accept what the battlefield was already saying. By the time the operation was halted, the cost was clear. Thousands of casualties, a shattered airborne force, and a sobering realization that confidence had outrun reality. When Operation Market Garden ended, explanations came quickly. The weather had been favorable, the troops had fought bravely, many objectives had been reached. On the surface, it was tempting to frame the operation as an ambitious effort that simply fell short. But beneath that language was a deeper truth. The failure was not caused by a single mistake, it was the result of accumulated assumptions. Intelligence that was acknowledged but not trusted. Warnings that conflicted with optimism. A plan so rigid that it could not adapt once reality diverged. Market Garden exposed how dangerous belief can become when it replaces verification. Commanders weren't blind, they saw fragments of the truth. What they lacked was the willingness to pause and reevaluate when those fragments no longer fit the plan. In war, speed is valuable, but speed without clarity only delivers you faster into uncertainty. Market Garden is remembered for a bridge too far, but its real lesson lies earlier, before the first drop. The fog of war here wasn't sudden, it was gradual. It formed in the space between intelligence and belief, between reports and assumptions. It thickened every time inconvenient information was set aside in favor of momentum. This episode stands in contrast to others in this series. At Kasserine Pass, confusion taught painful lessons that reshaped an army. At Market Garden, those lessons were available, but not fully absorbed. Later battles would show a different. At places like Midway, commanders hesitated, questioned, and adjusted. The fog lifted just enough, just in time. Market Garden reminds us that the fog of war doesn't just hide the enemy, it reveals how decisions are made under pressure, and what happens when certainty becomes more trusted than truth. If this story changed how you see Operation Market Garden, consider subscribing. It helps this series continue exploring the moments where war went wrong before it went loud. And if these lessons resonate, share them, not because they are dramatic, but because they are enduring. The fog of war is never just about what we can't see. It's about what we choose not to see.